The 1960s gave us the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, Bob Dylan changing the shape of music forever. And then, it also gave us songs about cavemen, bikini anxiety, mental breakdowns, and a man proudly announcing he's Henry VIII, over and over again. These weren't obscure novelty records hiding in bargain bins. These were hits. Top 10, top 5, number 1, played on real radios, in real homes, by real adults who apparently had no objections. Let's count down the weirdest songs 1960s kids somehow accepted without question. And starting at number 10, we begin with repetition as a competitive sport. Number I'm Henry VIII, I am. Herman's Hermits, 1965.
I'm Henry VIII, I am. Henry VIII, I am.
If you've ever wondered how little effort it takes to write a hit song, here's your answer.
I'm Henry VIII, I am. Henry VIII, I am.
I'm Henry VIII, I am. Henry VIII, I am, I am. That's it. That's the hook. That's the chorus. That's basically the entire lyrical ambition. Released in 1965, this British music hall relic somehow shot to number 1 in the United States. Not number 10. Not number 7. Number 1.
Everyone was in Henry. Hey! Will they notice him?
In the same decade that gave us Like a Rolling Stone, America decided that what it truly needed was a song where a cheerful teenager repeatedly informs us he married a widow who had already been married 7 times before. The lyrics barely change. There's no emotional arc, no bridge of reflection, no hidden metaphor. Just relentless, breathless repetition delivered at a speed that suggests the band wanted to finish recording before anyone could question the premise. And the wildest part? It's under 2 minutes long. Because even in 1965, someone in the studio must have thought, okay, that's enough, Henry. But radio stations played it constantly. Kids screamed it at school dances. Adults bought the single and took it home proudly. Imagine explaining this to someone today.
Henry VIII, I am. Henry VIII, I am.
Yes, it's a song about being the 8th husband of a woman who exclusively marries men named Henry. And yes, it was a massive hit. What makes it truly weird isn't the concept, it's the enthusiasm. Herman's Hermits performed it with absolute commitment. No irony, no wink to the audience, just full speed, chest out conviction. And America said, yes, more of this. One recycled melody, one historical joke, one number 1 hit, and somehow, that was only the beginning. Number 9, Winchester Cathedral, the new Vaudeville band, 1966.
Winchester Cathedral.
Now imagine it's 1966, the Beatles are experimenting with studio wizardry, the Beach Boys are crafting pet sounds, psychedelia is about to explode, and suddenly, a song that sounds like it was recorded in 1923 floats to number 1. Winchester Cathedral. Yes. A deliberately old-fashioned, faux 1920s megaphone-filtered throwback, becoming a massive hit in the middle of the most forward-thinking decade in music history. The new Vaudeville band didn't accidentally sound vintage. They engineered it that way. The vocals were intentionally recorded to mimic an antique gramophone. The arrangement copied pre-war dance hall music. The entire aesthetic screamed, your grandfather's phonograph collection. And America loved it.
You'd started ringing your bell.
The song hit number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and even won a Grammy for Best Contemporary R&R Recording. Contemporary, let that sink in.
Bringing me down.
A song designed to sound 40 years outdated was crowned as modern rock excellence. It wasn't ironic, it wasn't parody, it wasn't satire, it was played straight. Teenagers in go-go boots and paisley shirts were apparently fine dancing to something that sounded like it belonged in a black and white silent film. And the strangest part? It worked because nostalgia always works. Even in the middle of cultural revolution, people still crave the comfort of something familiar, something quaint, something harmless.
My baby left town.
So while bands were pushing boundaries, questioning authority, and experimenting with sound, Winchester Cathedral politely tipped its hat and sold over 1 million copies. No rebellion, no distortion, just cheerful time travel. One fake vintage filter, one trumpet-led melody, One inexplicable Grammy win, proof that even in the most progressive decade in music history, sometimes the biggest hits looked backward instead of forward, and somehow, nobody thought that was strange at all. Number 8. The Name Game, Shirley Ellis, 1964.
Shirley. Lincoln.
If you ever needed proof that playground chants can become national hits, here it is. The Name Game. Shirley Ellis took a children's rhyme, the kind kids yell at recess, and turned it into a Billboard smash in 1964. The entire concept? Take someone's name, add rhymes, repeat aggressively. Shirley, Shirley, Bo Burley, Banana Fana, Faux Furley. That's not a warm-up exercise, that's the actual song. It climbed into the top 5. Top 5.
Come on, everybody. I say now let's play a game.
In the same decade, birthing Motown brilliance and British invasion sophistication. America collectively decided what it really needed was a structured rhyming drill. There's no emotional journey, no romantic tension, no social commentary, just linguistic repetition pushed to the brink of absurdity. And yet, it works, because participation is powerful.
If the first 2 letters are ever the same, drop them both.
The song doesn't ask you to listen. It dares you not to join in. That's the trap. You hear it once, you smirk. You hear it twice, you're annoyed. You hear it 3 times. And suddenly you're chanting along like you're 8 years old again. What makes it weird isn't that it's simple. It's that adults embraced it. Radio DJs spun it seriously. Parents bought it. Party crowds screamed it. Grown people in 1964 willingly gathered around speakers to rhyme each other's names in unison. No irony. Just full commitment to phonetic chaos. And here's the real twist.
The first letter of the name, I treat it like it.
It's still instantly recognizable today, which means this playground incantation achieved something most serious songs never do. Permanent residency in pop culture. One rhyme formula. One relentless hook. One nation chanting nonsense together. And somehow, that was completely normal in 1964. Number 7, Surfin Bird, The Trashmen, 1963. Before punk, before hardcore, before anyone screamed into a microphone for artistic reasons, there was this Surfin Bird. Or more accurately, bird, 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 bird is the word. That's not exaggeration. That's 90% of the lyrical strategy. Released in 1963, this chaotic explosion of noise somehow clawed its way into the top 10. Top 10. The song wasn't melodic in the traditional sense. It wasn't polished. It wasn't subtle. It was a man shouting about a bird like he'd just discovered fire. The Trashmen stitched together 2 Rivington's novelty tunes and cranked the intensity to unhinged. The result sounded less like surf rock and more like someone trying to exercise a seagull. And yet, radio played it. Constantly. Imagine being a parent in 1963, calmly eating dinner, and suddenly your teenager blasts. Pa-pa-pa-pa. There's no metaphor, no romantic subplot, no deeper meaning waiting to be decoded. Just escalating hysteria set to a beat. And here's the real twist. It worked because it didn't care. Surfin' Bird feels like it's daring you to turn it off. It's loud. It's repetitive. It's borderline ridiculous. But it has energy. Wild, reckless, unapologetic energy. Which, ironically, makes it more honest than half the carefully crafted pop of the era. What makes it weird isn't that it's silly. It's that it feels slightly unhinged, and nobody tried to tone it down. No smoothing the edges, no studio polish to civilize it. Just raw, chaotic shouting, pushed into the American mainstream. And somehow kids loved it. One absurd refrain, one manic vocal performance, one national agreement that, yes, apparently, the bird was the word. And if you lived through the 60s, you didn't just hear this song, you survived it. Number 6, Itsy Bitsy Teeny Weeny Yellow Polka Dot Bikini, Brian Hyland, 1960.
It was an itsy bitsy teeny weeny.
the dawn of the 1960s, a decade that would eventually give us protests, revolutions, and psychedelic awakenings. But first, a 3-minute national discussion about a girl who's too shy to leave the beach towel.
Itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini.
Itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini. Released in 1960, this cheerful little earworm shot to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Because apparently, America was emotionally invested in whether or not this fictional girl would come out of the water.
Was afraid to come out in the open, and so
The entire song revolves around one plot point. She wore a tiny bikini, and now she regrets it. That's it. There's no character development, no twist ending, just escalating secondhand embarrassment set to a bouncy melody. And the structure? Even stranger. The song stops, literally stops. So the narrator can explain in spoken word detail that she's still hiding under a blanket. It's less a pop song and more a musical weather report about swimwear anxiety.
to come out in the open, and so she said.
And yet, it was everywhere. Parents played it, kids sang it, radio stations spun it all summer long. A whole country collectively vibed to a soundtrack of mild beach humiliation. What makes it weird isn't just the subject matter. It's how cartoonish it feels. The exaggerated delivery, the stop-start pacing, the almost novelty comedy narration. It sounds like a theme song for a sitcom that doesn't exist.
Polka dot bikini that she wore for the
But in 1960, it was pop gold, before rock got rebellious, before lyrics got introspective. We had a chart-topping anthem about a girl who just wanted to disappear into her towel. One swimsuit, one moment of awkwardness, one #1 hit, and somehow that was the tone setter for an entire decade. Number 5, Alley Oop, the Hollywood Argyles, 1960.
Funny papers, we all know.
Before concept albums, before protest songs, before poetic lyricism became fashionable, America made a caveman a #1 pop star.
A long time ago.
Alley Oop, a song about a comic strip prehistoric hero who fights dinosaurs with a club. Yes, dinosaurs. Released in 1960, this prehistoric fever dream climbed all the way to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 because nothing says modern music like chanting about a fictional caveman in the middle of the space age.
Well, this cat's name is Alley-oo.
The song doesn't even try to be subtle. It opens with jungle yells. There are shouted asides, cartoonish energy, and lyrics that read like a Saturday morning cartoon storyboard. There's no emotional metaphor hiding under the surface. No social commentary about primal instincts, no clever satire, just
He got a
alley oop, 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 over and over. And the most beautiful part, the band barely existed. The Hollywood Argyles were essentially a studio creation, a quick assembly of musicians to record what was basically a novelty concept. And yet it outsold serious artists. It beat polished crooners. It beat early rock pioneers. It beat actual musicians trying very hard. Because apparently in 1960, America thought, you know what this year needs? More caveman chants.
lions and grizzly bears.
And the delivery? Completely straight-faced. No wink, no self-awareness, just enthusiastic commitment to prehistoric chaos. Imagine turning on your radio expecting romance or rhythm and blues, and instead getting a musical Flintstones audition, and people loved it. One fictional caveman, one club, one national obsession. Proof that the 60s didn't slowly become weird. They started weird, and they only escalated from there. Number 4. Hello Muddah, Hello Fadduh. Alan Sherman, 1963.
$20, you got gypped. Love, Jeffrey.
If you ever wondered how little melody is required to create a hit, here's your answer.
Hello, Muddah. Hello, Fadduh.
Hello Muddah, hello Fadduh. That's not the start of a pop anthem. That's the opening line of a complaint letter. Released in 1963, Alan Sherman took the melody of Ponchielli's Dance of the Hours, a dramatic classical piece, and used it as the backdrop for a child whining about summer camp. Camp is terrible, the food is bad, the counselors are strange, the lake has malaria. It's essentially Yelp, set to orchestration, and somehow, it became a top 10 hit.
And they say we'll have some fun if it stops raining.
Let that sink in. While the British invasion was gearing up, while soul music was exploding, America paused to collectively enjoy a 3-minute comedic breakdown about mosquitoes. What makes it weird isn't that it's funny, it's that it's structured like a novelty parody, yet treated like legitimate chart music.
Remember Leonard Skinner.
Sherman performs it with exaggerated sincerity. The dramatic, classical melody swells while he describes stomach cramps and alligator bites. It's theatrical. It's absurd. It's deliberately childish. And adults bought it. Parents played it in their living rooms. Kids memorized it. Radio DJs introduced it with full professionalism, as if this was the cultural statement of 1963. It wasn't satire aimed at society. It wasn't political commentary. It was just a kid dramatically overreacting to camp.
So he reads to us from something called Ulysses.
And yet it stuck. It became so iconic that even decades later, people can recite the opening line instantly. One classical melody, one exaggerated complaint, one nation laughing at summer misery. And somehow, this novelty parody stood shoulder to shoulder with serious artists of the era. The 60s didn't just experiment, they committed, even to the joke. Number 3. The Purple People Eater, Sheb Wooley, 1958, early 60s staple. Before E.T., before Star Wars, before sci-fi became cinematic mythology, we had a one-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people eater. That's not satire. That's the full description.
One big eye, like a mister shaking in the city.
Released in 1958 but played relentlessly into the early 60s, the Purple People Eater hit number 1 on the Billboard charts and sold over 1 million copies. Because clearly, America was ready for extraterrestrial nonsense. The premise?
I said, Mr. Purple People Eater, what's your line? He said,
A strange creature descends from the sky. Naturally, you'd expect panic, maybe a Cold War metaphor, maybe a fear of the unknown allegory. Nope. Turns out he just wants to join a rock and roll band. That's the twist. He doesn't actually eat purple people. He is purple, and he eats people, which is somehow meant to reassure us. And the song treats this revelation like it's perfectly reasonable.
I want to get a job in a rock and roll band.
bless my soul.
There are goofy sound effects, cartoonish vocal inflections, zero existential dread. In the middle of nuclear anxiety and space race paranoia, radio stations played a cheerful tune about a monster who wanted to play saxophone. Parents sang along, kids laughed. No one questioned the lyrical logic. And what makes it truly strange?
Was a one-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people eater.
It wasn't presented as a throwaway joke. It was a fully marketed pop single. Television performances, heavy radio rotation, cultural saturation. A novelty alien became mainstream entertainment. One absurd character, one nonsensical hook, 1 million records sold. Before the 60s even properly began, they had already decided reality was optional. Number 2. They're coming to take me away, haha. Napoleon XIV, 1966.
They're coming to take me away, haha, they're coming to take me away.
If you think the 60s were all peace signs and flower crowns, let's talk about the time a song about a mental breakdown became a top 5 hit.
And I'll be happy to see those nice young men in their clean white.
They're coming to take me away, haha. Released in 1966 under the name Napoleon XIV, this track wasn't sung. It was performed, half spoken, half shouted, fully unhinged. The entire premise? A man slowly losing his mind after being abandoned by his lover. Except here's the twist. By the end, we discover the lover is a dog. Yes, a dog.
No, you laughed. I heard you laugh. You laughed and laughed.
So the narrator isn't just heartbroken, he's spiraling into madness over a pet. And radio stations played this constantly. The production is minimal, but unsettling. A marching drumbeat. Pitch manipulation that makes the voice sound increasingly manic. And that laugh.
Take me away,
Ha-ha! It climbs higher and more hysterical as the song progresses, like you're witnessing someone unravel in real time. and America bought it. It climbed to number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100. Not a cult hit, not an underground oddity. Top 3. There were even concerns about whether it was insensitive to mental illness. Some stations banned it, which of course only made it more popular.
When I had said that losing you would make me flip my lid.
The record label even released the B-side as the same song played backwards, because when you're already this absurd, why not? What makes it truly weird isn't just the subject matter. It's how uncomfortable it feels. There's no melody to soften it, no romantic hook, no redemptive ending, just escalating instability wrapped in novelty packaging.
Me way, ho ho, hee hee, ha ha, to the happy home with trees.
And yet, kids sang along, parents tolerated it, DJs introduced it like it was just another pop single. For 3 minutes in 1966, the charts were led by a man gleefully announcing his institutionalization. One drum beat, one nervous breakdown, one national sing-along to psychological collapse. And somehow, that still wasn't the strangest thing the decade produced. Number 1, Monster Mash, Bobby Boris Pickett, 1962.
He did the mash. He did the monster mash. The monster mash.
Of all the strange, chaotic, mildly unhinged things the 1960s produced, the biggest novelty anthem of the decade was a Halloween party. For monsters. I was working in the lab late one night. Released in 1962, Monster Mash shot to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, not in October as a seasonal gimmick. Number 1. Period. The entire song is essentially a B-movie horror parody. Dracula shows up, the Wolfman complains, Frankenstein's monster is dancing.
The graveyard smash. He did the mash. It caught on.
And Bobby Boris Pickett performs the whole thing in a dramatic horror movie voice inspired by Boris Karloff. It's theatrical, it's campy, it's intentionally ridiculous. There are creaking door sound effects, coffin lids opening, spoken narration between verses. It's less a pop song and more a 3-minute Halloween radio play. And America said, yes, this is what we want at the top of the charts.
To the master bedroom where the vampires feast.
What makes Monster Mash the perfect number 1 for this list isn't that it's silly, it's that it never goes away. Most novelty hits fade. This one resurrects itself every single year. It re-enters charts decades later. It plays in grocery stores. It's blasted at school events. It has outlived artists who took themselves far more seriously. Think about that.
The monster mash. The zombies were having fun.
In the same decade that gave us poetic revolution, political awakening, and musical reinvention, one of the most durable songs to emerge was about Dracula doing the twist. And the genius of it? It commits completely. Pickett never winks, never breaks character, never suggests this is a joke. He treats the Monster Mash like it's a legitimate cultural event, which might be the secret formula behind every weird hit of the 60s. Total commitment. No irony, no apology, just confidence. One laboratory, one graveyard smash, one song that refuses to die.